Good morning, everybody. It wasn't a vivid dream per se in terms of the, uh, the particular fellow cashier at my last Rite Aid showing up in the dreams, but rather sometimes there are dreams where the name of that cashier gets referenced by another, which was the case in last night's dream. And I'd like to and while at it, speaking of my final Rite Aid, there was one of the my last moments there was my feelings my feelings were hurt by a customer. Here's what happened. In the last hour or two, some well, let me rephrase some things. My final Rite Aid store was close in close proximity to both middle and high schools, and as well as some elementary schools. And during the last couple hours at my final Rite Aid, some unaccompanied juveniles were raising some ruckus. They were running around the store, a half mostly vacant store, doing mischievous things. And during, say, the final 15 to 20 minutes of my final shift, I was talking with an elderly, discussing this not only with my assistant manager, but an elderly customer. I was looking for if we had anything left, either look for whether we had anything left, which wasn't much, or just pick it up with a prescription. I was telling that elderly customer that those juveniles were about those juveniles, and I was saying, I was talking with her. I was still a month shy of my 49th birthday at the time, about how all these years I've never married, and I've always lived with the folks, which I still do. And the response from the elderly female customer kind of got me. Said, "You need a partner. You're gonna be lonely." If I was lonely, then Dollar Tree must be planning to open its first store on Rodeo Drive. Yeah. Going back to certain dreams where a certain fellow cashier is referenced by name instead of being physically present in the dream. I did have direct ancestors by that name, but the most recent ones were all deceased before the year 1880. And associated with these dreams, I don't use phonetic alphabets that other people do. I only use ones with simple words and not proper names, because the ones that use names, it's kind of a taunt. For example, here's how I would spell antelope. A is in ace, N is in near, T is in tab, E is in ear, L is in lab, O is in oak, P is in pace, E is in ear. And for California, C is in cab, A is in ache, L is in lace, I is in ick, F is in fab, O is in oat, R is in race, N is in neat, I is in ick, A is in ache. Not a single name dropped in either of those. Of course, Antelope being the community where my final Rite Aid store was. And last night was an entertaining comeback by the Club America Foods team. 2 late goals to grab a road draw from the jaws of defeat in Monterrey against the Rayados. Again, and I must reiterate, not lonely, not in love, nor have I ever been. It'll be breakfast time soon. Until then, peace out.